Russia declares war on Ukraine. Iran declares war on Israel. These are two allies that America has sworn to defend, and so far has sent billions of dollars worth of resources to aid. But neither of these countries will continue to receive nearly the support they do if China invades Taiwan. As a Christian, I do believe it is important to defend Israel, but as an American, I see that it is in everybody's best interest to keep communist China from invading the world's largest semiconductor distributor. Semiconductors are the super chips that keep computers, phones, cities, and weapons running. If China were to invade Taiwan, that would trigger the Third World War and a clash between the two largest superpowers, resulting in the death of millions. But why? Why is China such a threat to democracy, as news always puts it? Well, the answer lies in a man named Karl Marx. Karl Marx studied under a philosopher named Hegel. They both shared in the idea that the penultimate state of civilization for humans is a place where everybody has perfect freedom and they are all perfectly equal. That was the goal of all of their philosophies, of all of their studies, of all of their writings, was to help man achieve this perfect state of freedom. Marx took this to another level, though. Marx believed that anything that did help in this goal was good, to help achieve perfect freedom was good, but as soon as it took away from that goal, it needed to be destroyed and left behind. Like God, for instance. The idea of gods, or God, helped bring civilizations together into a common interest, push them forward in technology. But as soon as God became more important than the human's freedom, he needed to be destroyed. The same thing was with capitalism. Karl Marx enjoyed the idea that capitalism produced an abundance of goods. However, it also produced competition. This competition meant that some people were higher up on the food chain than others. If somebody produced more resources than another person, they became wealthier, they could hire that person, becoming their boss, becoming unequal. Every free market system, it seemed, produced competition. So, in order to combat this, Karl Marx created the idea of communism. He wrote his Communist Manifesto in order to finally break inequality once and for all. In his perfect communism, there would be no class system, there would be no private property, there would be no state, and especially no individual's rights. It's fairly ironic to say no individual rights when your goal is to achieve perfect freedom. You take away people's freedoms. However, in Karl Marx's mind, this made sense. He believed that individual rights were just an excuse that the higher-ups used to continue to control the people below them. It's my right to own more property than you. It's my right that when I'm richer, I can afford to pay you to do my labor. So, in this communism, there would be no abundance in goods. Everybody would have to have exactly what they needed when they needed it. You could go hunting in the morning, fishing in the afternoon, and theorize or write books in the evening. But not everybody would do that. People would just choose to theorize or write books all day. They would refuse to go hunting or fishing. It's in our instincts. Communism fights the human nature of selfishness and sloth. Therefore, there needs to be an entity that controlled that. There needed to be an entity that enforced that everybody have equal amounts of goods, have an equal amount of resources. And that entity ends up being the government. All communist countries have a government that is the thing that enforces equality. So whoever's within that government is no longer equal with the people below them because they're the ones who have to enforce equality. That's what happens to every single communist country is the government becomes God itself. It becomes the ultimate decision maker, the ultimate equality maker, and no longer is there equality. That's why communism fails. That's why China is so dangerous, because that's exactly what happened to China. People have no individual rights because communism takes away their rights. And since they have no rights and the government controls whether they're equal, they're no longer even really human. They're just cogs in a machine. That's why China cannot become the world's greatest superpower, Because if China does so, all humans are stripped away from the rights that they earned as humans.